Major news events explained in 10 minutes. This is CNN 10, where you can know and go. I'm Carl Azus. We're taking you to the Korean Peninsula today. That's where North Korea, a U.S. rival, says America is wholly to blame for North Korea's nuclear program. The country's been at odds with the U.S. and South Korea since fighting stopped in the Korean War in 1953. Nowadays, the North's nuclear program is illegal as far as the United Nations is concerned, but repeated sanctions, international penalties, and restrictions on North Korea's economy and trade have not kept North Korea from developing nuclear technology. And while some defense experts don't think North Korea has the ability to actually hit the U.S. with a nuclear weapon, the North says it's conducted 4 successful nuclear tests since 2009. It wants to have long-range nuclear weapons, and it wants the world to know it has them.
North Korea could launch an intercontinental ballistic missile at any time from any location. That is the message from North Korean's foreign ministry official. This came out on Sunday, quoted by KCNA, the state-run media. And they say that the only thing that they're waiting for is the green light from Kim Jong-un, the North Korean leader. Now, also, we hear in this statement that the reason that North Korea has found it necessary to carry out and develop this nuclear and missile program is because of Washington, the U.S. hostile policy, as North Korea calls it. And this, of course, is something that they have been saying for years, if not decades, blaming Washington for what they say is their need for self-defense. Now, also on Sunday, we did hear from U.S. Defense Secretary saying on NBC's Meet the Press that this program from North Korea is a serious threat. Also saying that the U.S. military is prepared to shoot down any missile which appears to be heading towards U.S. territory or appears to be heading from the north to any territory of its allies. But one interesting thing from this statement that we have been hearing from experts is that it does appear as though North Korea is hoping for a different relationship with President-elect Donald Trump when his administration comes into power. Now, they did say, using the DPRK, the official term for North Korea, quote, "Anyone who wants to deal with the DPRK would be well advised to secure a new way of thinking after having a clear understanding of it."
10-second trivia. In what part of the U.S. government do elected officials serve 6-year terms? The Supreme Court, Presidency, House of Representatives, or the Senate? The U.S. Constitution sets Senate terms as 6 years. That's in Article 1, Section 3, but it's a different part of the Constitution that requires something that's playing out starting today. Confirmation hearings are kicking off for President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet nominees. These are the president's top advisors from a wide range of departments, and it's lawmakers who get the final say on who gets the jobs.
We have to go back to the beginning. Have to go to the Constitution, 1789, Article 2, Section 2, Clause 2. And it says,
"Shall nominate, and by and with the advice and consent of the Senate, shall appoint ambassadors, other public ministers, and consuls, judges of the Supreme Court, and all other officers of the United States."
Donald Trump has announced a slew of top cabinet nominations, from his Treasury Secretary to his Attorney General. Over 1,000 people, including the heads of all federal agencies, are going to face Senate confirmation. Not everyone has to get confirmed. All cabinet-level officials and a lot of their deputies are going to need to be confirmed. But White House staff, think Kellyanne Conway or Steve Bannon, do not. The best way to think about Senate confirmation is through a series of steps. As soon as the nominee is announced, the media attention starts and outside interest groups get to roll up their sleeves. Step 1, paper. The nominees have to fill out a ton of forms before they can get confirmed. Think of it like a job interview on paper. They have to fill out a White House questionnaire, pass an FBI background check, and fill out a financial disclosure form. They want to know every speech you gave, every club you're in. Step number 2, the photo op. Here's where you get to make your debut as the nominee.
When I called you, you were on the road. I'm so glad you pulled over.
Step 3, the hearings. Remember Clarence Thomas?
This is a circus.
The nominee is on the hot seat for hours. Once the hearing is over, those same senators are going to take a vote in committee. And if a nominee can get through committee, then they go to the floor for a full vote of all 100 senators.
Senator,
I enter a motion to reconsider the vote by which cloture was not invoked on this nomination.
So how many votes do you need to get officially confirmed? 51 is all it takes. Supreme Court, though, is different. You still need 60. Given the Republicans have 52 seats in the Senate, you might think Trump's nominees are a shoo-in. Senate confirmation hasn't always been that easy.
I take this obligation freely.
Dick Cheney was President George H.W. Bush's second pick for defense secretary. Bush's original pick was former Senator John Tower of Texas, but the Senate rejected his nomination in 1989. You can pretty much guarantee that the Senate confirmation hearings on Trump's nominees are going to dominate the news cycle for a while. And maybe you won't stay awake the whole time, but at least now you know how they work.
A couple major news events we'll be covering in the days ahead. First, the outgoing president's speech. Barack Obama's farewell address is set for tonight from Chicago, Illinois. You can watch the broadcast live on CNN at 9 p.m. Eastern, and we'll have some highlights for you on Thursday's show. Second, the incoming president's inauguration. Donald Trump's swearing in is set for January 20th. That's next Friday in the nation's capital. You can catch that broadcast live on CNN starting at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, and we'll have some highlights for you the following Monday, January 23rd. Would you be comfortable flying on a 30-year-old 747? When it comes to commercial airplanes, age truly is just a number. According to the Smithsonian Museum's Air and Space magazine,